What's going on, everyone? So, JJ Redick being the head coach and his relationship with LeBron James will have an interesting dynamic, right? A lot of people have their concerns that, JJ kind of reprimands the team or says something specific to the team that, like, hey, did it really come from LeBron and whatnot, right? Lakers have tried to, do their job of kind of distancing LeBron from the JJ Redick hiring, kind of putting it on Anthony Davis, putting it in other areas. LeBron kind of stayed out of the potential hire of JJ Redick. Now, look, to think LeBron wasn't a thought, at least, or had some kind of connection, or the Lakers didn't have some kind of idea that LeBron would be happy about JJ is silly, given that they have a podcast together, right? And LeBron really values JJ Redick and his basketball mind. I mean, it's LeBron. LeBron could have a podcast with pretty much anybody, right? And to do it with JJ speaks, in my opinion, volumes with JJ, because, LeBron's looked at as one of, if not the greatest basketball minds ever. And you've seen JJ have those conversations and be on par and even challenge and push back LeBron at times, right? And I mention all this because I do believe that the Lakers, I believe everyone liked the idea of JJ Redick, the organization, Anthony Davis, right? They didn't just hire JJ Redick solely for LeBron. They hired JJ Redick because they're hoping that he's the Lakers head coach for the next 10 plus years, right? It's not just solely like, hey, this is LeBron's guy, let's hire him, because LeBron's only going to be here for so long. And that's assuming LeBron sticks around, which I believe he will, but it's always an option that he takes off. I think the JJ hiring solidifies even further that LeBron is going to stick around. But the reason I like the idea of JJ and LeBron's relationship is because I think if anybody could get LeBron to kind of change the way he's played the last few seasons, I think if anyone can do it, it is JJ. So JJ wants LeBron to play off ball more, right? That was one of the big talking points based on reports, that he wants to elevate Anthony Davis, have Anthony Davis be a guy that, can close down the stretch in the fourth and be more of a focal point. And he wants LeBron James to play off ball more, which, look, LeBron has talked for years now, basically since the 2020 championship, right? LeBron has wanted to play off ball. It's one of the reasons that the Lakers went and got Dennis Schroeder, right? And then went and traded for Russell Westbrook. And then went and got Schroeder back and D'Angelo Russell. It's why the Lakers keep trying to find a point guard. It's why there's talks about them trading for DeJounte Murray or, maybe even a Trae Young or whomever, right? It's because LeBron wants to play more off ball. And JJ wants LeBron to play more off ball. But the problem is that LeBron has said repeatedly that he wants to play more off ball and has been open about wanting to play more off ball. However, him saying that and him actually doing it have been two completely different things. LeBron has said he wants to play off ball, but guess what? LeBron has been primarily on ball. And, you look at guys like D'Lo, right? D'Lo had his best games when LeBron didn't play. Why is that? Because D'Lo got to be the point guard. D'Lo got to make plays and pick and choose his spots and be aggressive, right? It's not a coincidence that D'Lo had his best games when LeBron wasn't there. I'm not saying he didn't have good games when LeBron wasn't there, right? But it was more just solely shooting games. He was 7 of 8 from 3 or whatever, right? But LeBron, if LeBron needs to be willing to play off ball, especially as a guy that wants to kind of coast more. And, he's even talked about on Mind the Game how, he wants to kind of take a step back a little bit and kind of be able to pick and choose his spots. I'm not saying LeBron can't ever be on ball. It's still LeBron James, right? He's still one of the best on-ball players in the league. But again, it's about picking and choosing your spots and allowing other guys the opportunity to shine. Now, maybe if there were the right offensive schemes and guys played better and, for example, the minute restriction thing, right? Lakers wanted to limit LeBron's minutes to like 30 minutes a game. And literally game one, then it went out the window and they never looked back, right? But a lot of that was that the Lakers were terrible early on, right? I mean, D'Lo had his struggles, Reeves had his, like, nobody, like, they were terrible, right? Like, D'Lo was shooting, like, I think 32% from three at that time. Reeves was like 26%, something like that, right? Like, they were awful. And so LeBron had to basically play that many minutes for them to kind of just be in games, right? Where if guys were good, maybe that 30-minute kind of minute management, maybe that would have lasted longer. I still think eventually LeBron would have been like, all right, you know, like, I'm not doing this. But you also don't know. I mean, if the Lakers roster as a whole was good enough to allow LeBron to play 30 minutes, maybe he would have been more open to it, right? So if JJ Redick, obviously it still boils down to the players, right? You have to have the right roster, you have to have the right pieces, you have to have guys that, you know, can make the good decisions, right? But LeBron also has to be willing to sacrifice in playoff ball and allow other people to have that opportunity to show. You know, maybe if the Lakers were to get like a DeJounte Murray or a Trae Young or somebody like that, maybe LeBron would be more inclined to do that because, you know, they're all-star level guards, especially maybe somebody like Trae who, you know, he's basically, I mean, he's not basically, I mean, he is leading the league in assists like every year, right? Like the guy's been spectacular in that department. You know, I prefer DeJounte Murray, but like even Trae, right? I don't hate the idea of Trae if LeBron really does commit to playing off ball. Because Trae would be great, especially if we didn't have LeBron. But my biggest concern is, can Trae and LeBron play alongside each other because Trae is so on ball and so ball dominant? Will LeBron be willing to kind of let Trae do what Trae does? Or is it one of those things like you see with D'Lo, where D'Lo just basically is the initiator? He's just coming in, bringing the ball up, giving it to LeBron, and then getting out of the way. Now, I'm not saying LeBron never allows guys to shine, right? I mean, even in Cleveland, like, he let Kyrie have his moments, but still, you know, push comes to shove, late in games or in key moments, right? Who has the ball in their hands? It's always LeBron, right? Rather than allowing the offense to really kind of flow, right? A lot of times it's LeBron holding the ball, killing the shot clock, and then either, you know, passing it up for a quick three, you know, catch and shoot three, or he's taking the three himself, or he's putting his head down and getting to the basket, right? And it's something, I mean, we talked about it the last, you know, few years of how frustrating that can be at times. LeBron just holding the ball and killing the clock, rather than actually getting into an action, running some sets, you know, actually running some plays and trying to get the best shot possible, right? It's just a lot of just like, hey, LeBron's dominating the basketball, which, you know, at times it still is great. And, you know, 27-year-old, 30-year-old LeBron, it was great. Like, you never questioned it because LeBron was spectacular, right? And LeBron is still very good. But you saw at times he's gassed. And he looks gassed. And he doesn't have his legs under him and stuff like that. And he's still kind of trying to dominate the basketball rather than, hey, let's run. You know, let's get some ball movement. Let's put some pressure on the defense. Let's put them in a predicament to where they have to adjust rather than they just know what's coming, right? They're prepared for it. Oh, LeBron's just going to hold the ball and then he's going to make a decision. I'm not saying that there aren't times where you can do that. I'm not saying there aren't times where you maybe even should do that, right? If, you know, guys are struggling or whatever, right? There's going to be times where you're going to need LeBron to be the hero and play some hero ball. But to me, it's like if we can get the team going, I would prefer that. But LeBron has to be willing to make that sacrifice and make that adjustment and change. LeBron's still going to get his spots. LeBron's still going to go get his 20 plus on any given night, right? LeBron's still going to be able to be LeBron at times. But can JJ be the guy to finally convince LeBron to maybe play more free-flowing? Right? I mean, even last year, right, with the Lakers were the best. I talked about it and pointed it out and highlighted it like regularly. Every time the Lakers had over 30 assists, they won. if I'm not mistaken, I think they were undefeated or only had one loss, something like that, when they had more than 30 assists. When they shared and moved the basketball, they were essentially unbeatable, right? Because the offense was flowing, guys, everybody's contributing. You're keeping the defense on their toes. But, when the Lakers have, 28 assists or, 25 assists, and it's just like a lot of isolation and it's a lot of like LeBron heavy and, AD, the offense isn't there. The offense isn't great. And then you're counting on guys to step up and be good, but it's like they're not getting the opportunity, right? And again, I'm not saying you don't let LeBron be LeBron at times, but you pick and choose your spots, right? Hey, LeBron, you're going to be the guy. Like right now, we're going to have you do this, right? And LeBron being off ball, like him being able to run, as the off-ball cutter, him being able to be the screen man, running, pick and roll action, him just being able to be with his size and physicality, and just him being able to maneuver. It's good luck, right? I mean, LeBron might be the biggest threat in the league outside of like maybe Steph and like KD off ball, right? I mean, seriously, he's so quick, so big, so athletic still, right? Like all the things that you could do where he's just operating and you have to constantly stay glued to him, and you have to have a guy that not only can keep up with him, but on top of keeping up with him, has the physicality to not just get bullied by him, right? Like, I mean, LeBron could probably average 30 playing off ball just because, you could just, again, teams would have to match up with it. And it would make it so much easier, right? I mean, obviously, he's got to have the cardio ready. But, again, like, him playing off ball, he wouldn't have to exert as much, right? He just kind of, in his IQ, he's going to find the spots to exploit. And at the same breath, you're going to need a guard that can recognize, right? When LeBron makes that move, whoever your point guard is needs to be able to recognize, okay, LeBron's making that move. If he beats the guy, let me get it to him. Let me feed it to him, right? So I'm hoping, it's one of those things. I'll almost believe it when I see it. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's just, again, like, you got to kind of prove it to me, right? Like, it's one thing to say, oh, I'm going to have him play off ball more. LeBron even talks about how he wants to play off ball more. Everyone seems to be in agreement. Hey, LeBron off ball more. But will he actually do that is the question. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think JJ Redick will be the guy to finally get LeBron to buy in and play more off ball? Do you think, no, like LeBron's not going to just change? Which, I do understand that argument. But one, LeBron is one of the smartest players, if not the smartest player ever. Two, LeBron is very aware of the age and the potential decline and the risk of injuries and all kinds of stuff, right? Like, he's not foolish. And you've seen pretty much every player in history at a certain point have to adapt and evolve, right? Like, have to change certain elements to just create longevity. And so I think LeBron, he may do it, right? Again, I say may. But again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.